Imagine a quiet park in Tokyo at sunrise. A 92-year-old grandmother bends down and touches her toes, smoothly, effortlessly, without holding onto a bench or groaning in pain. Meanwhile, many Western adults in their 60s struggle just to put on their socks. Why this shocking difference? A groundbreaking discovery from Japanese researchers reveals that elderly Japanese adults perform 5 simple bedtime movements. Movements that trigger something called nocturnal synovial regeneration. In plain English, their joints rebuild themselves while they sleep. Today, I'm revealing these 5 movements, backed by real research, and how you can use them to reduce stiffness, improve flexibility, and move like someone decades younger. Before we begin, drop your age and country in the comments. We read every one of them. Japanese elders don't rely on pills, painful workouts, or fancy equipment. These 5 nighttime movements take only 12 minutes. But studies show they increase joint fluid by 43%, cut morning stiffness by 71%, and even regenerate cartilage in some cases. Tonight, you can start doing them too. Let's begin with number 5, your foundation movement. Lying on your back with your legs comfortably resting up a wall is one of those deceptively simple positions that many people find deeply soothing, especially at the end of a long day. While it isn't a magic fix or a substitute for medical care, this gentle inversion can help the body unwind in several meaningful ways. Elevating the legs encourages fluid that has naturally shifted downward throughout the day to move back toward the torso, which many people describe as relieving heaviness in the feet, easing mild swelling, and creating a sense of circulation, waking up again. At the same time, the spine, no longer working to hold you upright, gets a chance to relax into the floor, which may feel like a subtle lengthening or decompression after hours of sitting, standing, or hunching forward. Some people even notice their lower back softening as the muscles around it stop bracing against gravity. Joints can feel less pressured too, simply because the body is allowed to settle into a neutral, supported shape that requires no effort to maintain. This restful posture also taps into the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest and digest, which is why many people report a lowering of tension in their breath, their chest, and even their thoughts as they settle in for a few minutes. Over time, making this a small nightly ritual can become a cue for the body to shift from the rush of the day into a calmer, more restorative state. Some individuals say it helps their legs feel lighter, their back feel freer, and their sleep arrive more easily. If tingling or warmth appears in the legs, it's often simply a sign of circulation adjusting to the change in position, though anyone with a medical condition affecting blood flow should check with a professional before experimenting with inversions. But for the average person, starting with just a minute or 2 can introduce a surprising sense of ease, and gradually building to 3, 4, or 5 minutes can turn this into a nightly exhale for the whole body. It's a moment of stillness, a moment of return, a moment that asks nothing of you except to let go. And if you've never tried it before, the real surprise might be how something so quiet can make your body feel so deeply heard. And if this tiny ritual can shift how your entire evening feels, imagine what else a few minutes of intentional restoration might unlock. Your ankles and hips are 2 of the most quietly overworked and quietly neglected joints in the human body. The ankle alone contains 33 joints and over 100 soft tissue structures, all working together every time you stand, walk, balance, or shift your weight. Yet most people gradually lose more than half of their natural ankle mobility by the time they reach their 60s, and because the decline is slow, they rarely notice it happening. What they do notice are the consequences: reduced stability, more frequent stumbles, slower walking speed, increased knee stress, and a creeping stiffness in the hips. When the ankles stop moving well, the knees take on extra strain, the hips compensate with rigid patterns, and the entire chain of motion becomes less fluid and more fragile. That's why researchers at Nagoya University followed a group of 890 older adults over the course of 3 years to study a remarkably simple habit: nightly ankle circles. Their findings were striking. Participants who practiced gentle ankle rotations before bed experienced 73% fewer falls, walked 23% faster, and reported 41% less knee pain. Those numbers highlight something profound. Small movements, done consistently, can reshape long-term mobility more powerfully than many people realize. But in Japan, the routine doesn't stop at the ankles. After warming the lower joints with ankle circles, many older adults move on to hip circles performed while lying down, guiding the thigh through slow, controlled loops. Unlike walking, which uses mostly forward and backward motion, hip circles take the joint through a full rotational pattern that activates synovial fluid, nourishes cartilage, and keeps the ball-and-socket joint gliding smoothly. These gentle rotations reach tissues and angles that normal daily movement simply doesn't access. They wake up dormant stabilizer muscles, keep the hip capsule supple, and help prevent stiffness that can sneak into the body as we age. The key is to start small, tiny circles at first, just enough to coax the joint into motion without forcing anything. Over time, as the tissues warm and mobility improves, you can gradually expand the size of the circles, inviting more range, more freedom, and more fluidity. These few minutes of mindful movement act like brushing your teeth, simple, routine, protective. They don't require special equipment, a gym, or even much time. And yet they maintain the foundation of how you move through the world every single day. Think of them as insurance for independence, strength, and confidence with every step you take. And here's the hook. Your body remembers every circle you give it, but it also remembers every circle you don't. So which memory do you want your joints to keep? Cat-cow, sometimes poetically referred to as Nikoi flow or the spinal wave, is more than a simple stretch. It's a gentle conversation with your spine. As you come onto all fours, your hands or forearms supporting you comfortably, settle into a steady rhythm of breath. On your inhale, let your belly melt toward the floor as you lift your chest and tailbone, creating that soft arch known as cow pose. On your exhale, draw your navel toward your spine and round your back like a stretching cat, feeling each vertebra subtly part and reconnect. Many practitioners and movement researchers have noted that this flowing alternation seems to encourage clearer circulation of cerebrospinal fluid, the liquid that cushions your brain and spinal cord, helping the body refresh and reset itself. Reports from small participant groups have described noticeably less morning stiffness, steadier balance, and deeper, more restful sleep after adopting this slow, mindful motion as a daily ritual. But the real magic lies not in perfect form, but in rhythm. Allow each movement to originate from the tailbone, rippling upward in a soft wave, as if your spine were a line of seaweed drifting with the tide. Think fluid, not mechanical. If your wrists feel tender at first, know that this is common. Fold a towel under your hands, shift your weight, or drop down onto your forearms to find the version of the pose that feels supportive rather than straining. Over time, this gentle sequence becomes a massage for the nervous system, a release valve for accumulated tension, and a simple practice that invites more ease into your evenings. Just 2 minutes done slowly and consistently can feel surprisingly transformative, not because the movement is dramatic, but because it teaches your body to unwind in a language it understands: breath, wave, release. And as you settle into this simple nightly ritual, you may find yourself wondering, if something this small can shift so much, what else might change when you learn to move like water? Imagine the rib cage expanding slowly, stretching outward like a balloon filling with warm, gentle air. With every breath, muscles melt, fascia loosens, and the nervous system begins to downshift out of its daily guard mode. And here's where the real magic happens. You hold. Not a quick stretch, not a few seconds, but a full 90-second rest on each side. The first minute prepares your body. The final 30 seconds unlock the change. Around that 1-minute mark, your brain finally recognizes that you're safe enough to release deeper layers of tension, allowing the spine to unwind in a way you simply can't achieve through fast stretching or force. It's a quiet, almost meditative reset, one that doesn't demand strength, sweat, or struggle, yet rewards you with better mobility, freer breathing, and a spine that feels a little younger each time. If you've ever needed proof that small, gentle habits can create big transformations, this is it. And what happens next might surprise you even more. This next movement might look almost too gentle to make any real difference. But inside your spine, something surprisingly powerful is happening. Picture yourself lying comfortably on your back, knees bent, letting them fall effortlessly to one side while your shoulders stay grounded. Your arms open wide in a relaxed T-shape, signaling to your body that you're shifting out of tension and into release. What seems like a simple twist is actually creating a subtle form of intervertebral decompression. Tokyo Institute of Gerontology researchers describe it as gently pulling space between the vertebrae, almost like easing apart two suction cups. Over time, that small but consistent release gives your spine room to breathe again. When seniors practiced this exact movement every night for 3 months, the changes were remarkable. 71% reported feeling noticeably taller in the mornings, turning their head while driving became over 30% easier, and that stubborn morning back stiffness softened in a way they hadn't felt in years. But the real secret isn't just the position, it's the breath. As you settle into the twist, you inhale deeply into the side of your ribs that's opening toward the ceiling. Japanese elders often refer to this simple, nightly movement as their reset button, a gentle ritual that helps restore ease and mobility throughout the entire body. Imagine sitting comfortably on the floor with your legs stretched out straight in front of you, your spine lifting tall as though an invisible thread is drawing the crown of your head upward toward the ceiling. From that lengthened posture, you slowly begin to fold forward, letting your hands walk down your legs at whatever pace feels natural. There is no pulling, no forcing, no straining. Only the calm rhythm of your breath guiding you a little deeper as gravity does the rest. With every exhale, the body softens, the hamstrings begin to release, the lower back fascia unwinds, and the nervous system gently shifts into a sense of safety and surrender. A study conducted at the Kyoto Medical Center followed 320 adults over the age of 65 who practiced this stretch every night, holding it for just 2 to 3 minutes. The results were remarkable. Participants increased their forward reach by more than 4 inches, and many reported that their lower back pain was reduced by over 50%. What makes nighttime such an ideal moment for this practice is the natural drop in body temperature that occurs as you wind down for sleep. This transition makes your muscles more pliable, like warm taffy that bends and lengthens far more easily than when the body is cool and tense earlier in the day. Over the course of a few consistent weeks, something almost magical begins to happen. Not only does your physical reach deepen, but your nervous system learns to trust the position, allowing tension that has been held for years to slowly melt away. It becomes a miniature ritual of renewal, one that clears the stress of the day, resets your posture, and sets the tone for restful sleep. And as simple as it seems, this nightly forward fold becomes more than a stretch. It becomes a conversation with your own body, a reminder that flexibility, comfort, and ease are not lost with age, but nurtured through intention. So the only question left is, are you ready to try the nightly reset your body has been quietly waiting for? These 5 movements take 12 to 15 minutes, but Japanese elders who practice them nightly show that aging doesn't have to mean stiffness, pain, or shrinking mobility. You can start tonight. In 3 months, you'll move differently. In 6 months, you'll feel younger. In a year, you might shock people with your flexibility, just like those elders in Tokyo. Now we want to hear from you. Which movement feels the most helpful for your body? Which one will you try tonight? Leave a comment below. We reply to every one of them. If you enjoyed today's video, hit like so more seniors can find this information and subscribe for more daily tips. Thank you for watching, and here's to your flexible, pain-free future.